Welcome to the Goose Riot Bad Movies podcast. My name is Chad. Today we'll be discussing a movie called Surf Nazis Must Die. And the title of this episode, which is episode 5, is A Master Race to the Finish.
Nice.
Joining me today will be 4 of my co-hosts. And to the left is...
Dave.
Todd.
Tanner.
Josh.
All these guys are douchebags.
Pretty much.
Everyone
Deutschbags.
Deutschbags.
So this movie,
Was awful.
it was interesting. It was interesting. It was I think it was a social commentary of its time.
Oh.
That's one way of
The
putting it.
80s were that bad.
It was the Point Break of the 80s.
This was the worst.
You can shut your fucking mouth right now.
Point Break was a good movie.
Exactly.
It's a stretch. I
No.
enjoyed it.
You can suck a dick.
You know who
Your
ruined
dad's dick.
That, you know who ruined that movie? Gary Busey.
He wouldn't ruin that movie. He'd make it a fucking top 10 of the 80s movie. Look what he did for Point Break. Point Break would have been nothing without Busey.
Yeah.
Ugh.
People think Keanu and Swayze were the star of that movie? No. No fucking way.
It was definitely Anthony Kiedis.
No, it was definitely Gary Busey. 100%. 100%. Anyways,
Surf Nazis must die.
so this movie, it starts out on
I
the
thought it had
beach.
some potential.
It did.
It didn't.
Well, right off the bat, you've got like an Italian-looking Adolf Hitler talking to a bunch of, 8 to 16-year-olds on a beach, indoctrinating them.
Yes.
Creepy.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
They all
What
have
did-
swastikas drawn on their cheeks.
What did he call himself again?
Adolf?
You find out later his name is Adolf. His actual name is Ricky Johnson.
Right.
Ricky. Oh,
Ricky? Something like that?
Ricky.
That sounds like
Little
someone that would go by
badass.
Adolf.
Adolf tells us that once you've caught the wave, it doesn't matter how you approach it as long as it's fast and effective.
Yeah, that's true.
This
Yeah.
movie was awful.
Same for
47
Nazism.
seconds in, you get a big mic boom stuck in the top of the shot.
Yeah, well, it was the 80s. Production value just
And then-
wasn't there.
The scene ends with all the kids screaming, "Surf Nazis! Surf, Nazis!"
Nazis! Surf Nazis!
The thing that really bothered me about this entire movie is probably 1 out of every 5 minutes is just shots of people surfing.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's not plot.
It is called Surf Nazis
Yeah, but
Must Die.
I don't know. It was awful.
I'm pretty sure 2 or 3 of those shots were the same shot too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
They just reversed it.
I
I'm
think
glad
they
no
had
one-
like 10 shots total.
I'm glad they don't do that anymore, Michael Bay.
Oh, God.
Looking at you,
He
buddy.
doesn't even use the same shots from the same movie. It's the same shots in
Different
every
movies.
movie.
Yeah.
It's always Pearl Harbor.
So
Yeah, this movie was about 80 minutes long, and I think at least 30 of that was probably surf scenes. But they were gnarly surf scenes. I mean,
gnarly, totally.
when I say gnarly, I mean the best surf scenes was when they were hailing Hitler, riding waves.
Yes, yes.
It was beyond amazing.
Movie was so bad.
So in the opening credits, we learned that a massive earthquake has come and destroyed Los Angeles. 8.6 on the Richter scale. It killed 80,000 people.
and probably did horrible things to the plastic surgeon money intake.
Yes, yes, yes.
L.A.
Yeah.
And apparently that was enough. 80,000 people is enough to completely destabilize all of Los Angeles. There's no cops. There's nobody. In 1990, there were 3 million people in Los Angeles. 3 million.
I mean,
There were 10,000 cops. So maybe just the cops and their families died. Maybe that's
Yeah.
it.
And not only that,
firefighters, too.
Yeah.
By the way, that's 3%.
apparently
3%
it was-
of the population's dead.
everything was ruled by surf gangs.
Oh, yeah.
that had no more than 3 or 4 visible members. It's like
Well, that's where the term surf Nazis came from, though, was, these people who came and took over the beaches. It was a literal...
Yeah.
It was a term that was actually used
Right.
in real life. They called them surf Nazis, because it was a group of people that would just come take over an area of a beach for surfing.
And kick everybody
This
off.
movie just made it literal surf Nazis.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Surfers rule the beach and the Nazis rule the surfers.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
there you go.
But they were like they were a group
quote.
of like 5 people.
yeah.
Didn't matter.
Doesn't
That's all
matter.
they needed.
They
Yeah.
had,
Well, that was 2 more than any other rival gang, so
That's
there you
true.
go.
Yeah.
they had
Yeah.
They win.
Adolf, his leader, the leader, of course. I
And
would
the chick with the poofy hair.
Ava, which is like Adolf's wife, just like in
Ava
real life.
Braun.
Oh,
his bitch.
I get it.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
Mangala,
wow.
Mangala, the Angel of Death, which he was a crazy fuck.
That was the
in
guy with
movie.
the spear gun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the vampire.
No.
Oh, no.
Mangala was not the spear gun guy.
No.
Okay.
Brutus was the spear gun guy.
Was Brutus Hook? Who was Hook?
No,
Hook
never.
was
Hook
Hook.
was Hook.
Hook only had the Hook name. That was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just called him Hook.
And then there was
And a hook like a
Smeg.
paddle.
Smeg.
And he played Highline in his spare time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he?
You would have
Hook
thought.
did.
You would have
Missed
thought
that.
Hook. Okay, Hook did.
Yes.
Hook looked like a highlight.
Oh,
Thing.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you meant he actually played highlight. I was like,
Oh,
good-
probably.
Good on him. Good on him. Good
Got to
for
get
you,
that
bro.
exercise in.
Yeah, more or less. So
Yeah.
how does the movie start out? I'm drawing a blank here.
Well, after the opening credits, you go to one of the 35 like campfire scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
So bad.
Well, we find out that Eleanor Washington, Mrs. Washington, Mama Washington,
Mama.
whatever you want to go by, her house was apparently destroyed in the 8.6 magnitude earthquake,
Richter scale.
and her son Leroy.
But they misspelled. They misspoke when they said Richter.
Richter.
They said
Did
Richter.
they say Richter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did say
It's like,
Richter.
wow, they didn't know
Oh.
how to say that.
By the way, more fun earthquake facts. The last earthquake that killed a lot of people in the United States
Yeah.
was it killed actually 4 other 8.6 earthquakes across the globe have killed less than 5,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
80,000.
Destroys
That was,
LA.
What about
that
that
was
one?
Pretty intense.
What about that one in Haiti?
That was higher.
Oh, that's.
Of solely 8.6 Richter scale earthquakes.
Did you actually do
I
that
did not
research?
see
I
that
did.
coming.
I
How,
did.
wait, how high was the one in Haiti?
I have no idea.
It really wasn't that high.
It was higher than 8.
If you're doing
No,
that kind
it
of
wasn't,
research
but the-
for this podcast, you are
Yeah.
a welcome
But
member.
it's
That's what I do.
the foundation is so poor that everything
Yeah.
just collapsed.
And especially in Los Angeles, they know how to survive earthquakes.
Yeah.
They have
The,
codes.
the most deaths, I actually did a little more research. The most deaths ever in a United States earthquake was when San Francisco burned to
Right.
the ground in
Yeah.
1906.
Yeah.
And that was a much lesser earthquake.
Yeah, they're due for another one.
They know what they're doing now. They
Yeah,
know how to
had one
build
in the
buildings.
90s.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole place isn't going to
Not
fall
like
apart.
that.
No, not that big.
Not a 12.7.
Yeah, when that Haiti earthquake happened, I tried to convince my parents to go down there and adopt one of the Haitian kids, so we could do like
oh,
the
easy.
the Blind Side. Was that the name of the movie? The Blind
no.
Was that the name of the movie?
Yes
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
no.
No, I was
Blind
like,
Side.
we could use a family member that's good at sports, and that was
That makes sense.
God knows it's not in that family's genetics.
exactly. I tried, but
Well.
they wouldn't go for it. I was like, we could help this kid's life. and
Everyone in your
help
family's
ours
on.
later on.
You wanted a Michael Orr.
Everyone in your family's in
exactly.
mobility scooters by 30, right?
It worked for Tim McGraw, Josh. It worked for Tim McGraw.
Yeah, Sandra B.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So, anyway,
Berry pie. Anyways, continuing on.
Anyway, right after we see Mama Washington being moved into the Stardust retirement home, we then see Mangala, who is apparently like their Nazi engineer guy.
What was his name?
Mangala.
No, I know. What was his name? Did they ever say his?
I don't
actual name?
think we ever heard his actual name.
Let me stop you right
Mangala
there.
is the only.
Mama
credit.
Washington is the worst actress I've ever seen.
We haven't
at
really
anything.
gotten
That's
Mama
Mrs. Washington to you, honey.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
yet. Zing.
She just read lines in front of a camera.
Worse than Katie Holmes?
Oh,
Way worse than Katie Holmes.
didn't you watch this movie?
Yeah.
She's awful.
There was some power behind those
Tyler
lines.
Perry wasn't around in 1987, so I don't know who else you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's true.
So we see Mangala constructing hooks. Hook.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very
Hooks up.
interesting hook.
It was made out of
It
the
appears
same
to be
stuff they
made
make
out of-
cans out of.
Yes.
That
Aluminum?
thin
Aluminum?
sheet. No, thin sheet aluminum.
It appears to be like 1/8 inch steel, sheet metal steel. I don't know. It's in the shape of like a cobra,
Yeah.
a cobra's cowl.
Yeah.
Or a
That's what we call that?
crowbar.
Yeah, okay.
Really wide crowbar.
Definitely along the lines of a high-lie device. What do you call that thing? I don't know what you call that thing.
I don't
Like
know.
a sling? Is it called a sling?
What is
sling?
it, Todd?
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. Maybe you should know.
You,
I thought they had
you,
those
you
in
look like you'd be
Mexico.
interested in highlight.
Ouch. Let's just call it an
So
arm.
yeah, it's a piece of sheet metal that's hooked onto a rusted coffee can, and then he screws it onto his stump of a hand.
Which you can clearly see hides the actor's hand.
Yeah.
They make no attempt to really cover that up. It's like, dude, one arm's the arms are the same length, and there's just something holding onto a hook at the end of it. This movie was awful.
I'm pretty confident I can make a more realistic hook using a roll of aluminum foil in about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
honestly.
So where does this movie take off from?
Wait,
Where's the
when does it take off?
Yeah,
I missed that
exactly.
part.
Well,
It doesn't.
happen. I
Okay,
missed
so what happens between Mama Washington, or why does she get involved? What happens? Because she has a son,
Well,
Leroy.
basically, after the beach scene, they get together. They call a meeting of the surfer gangs.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we should, expound upon that a bit. The surfer gangs individually.
Go ahead. Well, there was the surf Nazis. That was the main surfer gang.
Yes.
The surfers ruled the beaches, but like you're saying, the surf Nazis ruled the surfers. So there was the
Samurais.
Chinaman gang.
The samurai surf wave.
Oh, that's what they're called.
Yes,
Samurai
yes.
surf
Samurai.
waves.
Which is, by the way, the laziest racial
Hang on.
slur there is. Chinaman.
That's not a racial slur.
They're
Oh, no,
actually Japs because they had.
yeah,
Asian
samurais
American.
are
Okay.
Japanese.
I should have
Whatever,
Asian American.
Chinaman.
Well, and all their surfboards had the dot on them. The red dot, like
Yes. Yes.
Right.
the Japanese flag.
Yeah.
So you want to hear their names?
Mm.
I watched the credits.
Oh God.
Wow, did
What's
you?
wrong with you?
Stand by. I got it here in a second. Samurai surfers. Their names are Wang, Yin, and Yang.
Wow.
Like those are the names in the movie, or that's their literal like.
I doubt that's
No,
actually
that's not
the
their actual
actors'
names.
names.
Okay.
Only one of them was actually Chinese, I believe, or Asian. Excuse me. I don't want to be racist here.
No, it's okay. That's what this. It's a government. It's a tool of the government. But
So you got the surf Nazis, who we already said Adolf, Eva, Mengele, Hook, Brutus, and Smeg. You got the pipeliners, who I guess these guys are like gymnasts.
yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Well,
Yeah,
they
let's
were
figure
sneaking
that out.
They're
around.
like tie-dye.
They were sneaking around in like the underground areas, like waiting to throw acid in people's faces.
Well,
so.
when you first see them, they're doing like backflips off of that pipe
Yeah.
in the warehouse. So I don't really know what's up with that. So then you have the designer waves.
doing cartwheels and shit.
Yeah, the guys doing cartwheels in the middle of fights. And they're your typical surfers with the long hair and the sunglasses.
And the brightly colored shirts
Hawaiian
that look like. You
shirts.
remember those little that there was a shirt one of them wore. You remember those little toys that they had in the 80s? It was like
No.
you'd blow up a balloon inside this like cloth bag and then you'd toss it around.
Oh, yeah.
It looked it was
what
this
that called?
Balzac something like that. I know
That's
it sounds
genius.
like Balzac, but
Balzac, that was it. Yep.
I think it was Balzac,
Yeah.
which is disgusting. And you'd think there'd be some marketing company behind that, but their their shirts,
It would never fly in 2014.
no, but their shirts totally look like a Balzac.
I have fond memories of Balzacs.
Yeah,
Gotta be careful how you say that.
Bet
so
you
does
do.
Todd.
At the
So-
changing stations.
Then, so then we have the skate rats, who are a bunch of skater punks. Apparently, they skateboard on the beach.
They're not really a surfer gang though. They're just a bunch of shitheads.
Yeah.
Those
Excuse
just
me.
a bunch of like kids, right?
Yeah, they're young shitheads.
They're actually the Earth surfers. They surf the hard wave.
Oh, I did not.
You remember
Oh,
that?
that's right.
Yeah.
Later on, they
Yes.
stopped being the rats.
Yes.
Weren't they just like kids though? I mean, they were. How old were those people?
Oh yeah,
Were they
some of they were pretty young. They had that one girl who was like
Okay.
an adult, and then it was all like
12-year-old boys.
12-year-olds, yeah.
Yeah.
Their names were Jet, Lizard Lady, and Other Rats.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
The other rats. He was a good actor.
Oh wait, designer waves. We didn't get their names. Curl, Blow, and Dry. That was their credited
Brilliant
names.
writing in this movie. Brilliant writing. The dialogue was amazing.
Oh, it was
By that,
phenomenal.
I mean it was awful.
So you've got all those gangs, and then you have one biker guy. Did you notice that? This one
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
that looks like a biker, and he is never on a motorcycle. You never see him on a bike.
What's really weird too is during this movie they talked about drugs and selling drugs, and like the biker owed them money for the drugs.
Yeah.
But that was it. Like there was nothing else about the drugs at
Nobody
all.
was doing drugs.
No.
Nobody was selling drugs.
No, it was just she walked into the bar. She told the biker, "Where's my money? Oh, you're short. You better not be short again." And that was all you ever heard about the drugs.
She also
So,
did
yeah.
pull a knife to his testicles.
Yeah, well, it's
It's Todd's
a
favorite part.
given. Yeah, there were testicles. Todd's definitely
All about it.
aroused.
Balzac. Just had to throw that out there. This
Yeah.
episode's sponsored by Balzac.
But Yeah.
Can you
so-
put our affiliate link up for that?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we got a Balzac.
Pretty
affiliate
sure
link.
they've been out of business for about 2 decades.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
I probably still have one somewhere.
So yeah, the dialogue of this whole meeting of the gangs is pretty fantastic.
It was
Adolf holds up a bag full of sand, sticks a knife in it, and says, "It's all about the sand
Yeah.
and getting the most out of it."
Yeah. It was.
I don't even know what to say about that.
this was the worst movie we've seen yet.
And then he says,
Don't forget
actually,
there yet.
okay, there's one better part. He says, the potential has never been greater. Nazi battleships will be patrolling the whole coast soon.
I never
Where does that come
saw-
from? And they never did anything else with that.
Yeah, I
like, we are way past World War II.
There was a
I don't understand.
boat chase.
Yeah. Well, we were.
And everyone in the room nods. Every
were
one of the gang
past-
members is like, yeah, the Nazi boats are coming.
we were past World War II, but there was a massive earthquake, and the Nazis are
The
back.
Nazis are back.
Yeah.
because
When
of the
80,000 people die out of the 3 million people that are there, Nazis, they see that opening and they have to take it.
It's true. Red Dawn,
Exactly, with the Nazis. Yeah.
minus the parachutes and airplanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More or less.
Boats.
That's it.
It's
It's
fucking
boats this time.
Just U-boats.
Plus, and I want to go ahead and bring this up. Surfboards with switchblades in them.
Oh, yes.
Switchboards.
Yes,
What is
switchboards.
Switchboards.
Yeah. So, basically,
Weaponized surfboards.
after that whole meeting of the gangs thing happens, there's this black dude out on the streets. What I don't remember what happened.
There's
with
this
him, how he
kid
came
that
up-
was like stealing the purse from an
It was
old lady.
it was a Hitler youth, a surf Nazi
Yeah.
youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, he stopped her.
there's this
First
black
graphic.
guy jogging down the street that stopped the
Stopped
kid
him,
and got the purse and like
7 foot tall black guy.
yeah, he was
yeah.
big.
Big dude.
You had the shortest shorts on I've ever seen.
Yes,
well, it was
yes.
the 80s. That
Like,
was
there's
normal.
no way that penis stereotype can be real because he would have been hanging out the bottom of those shorts.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Use it as a belt.
Todd, did you notice that part
Yeah.
too?
Of course he did.
You love
Who do you
those
think
John
pointed out to
Stockton
me?
shorts.
Ball sack. So
We didn't really introduce Mama Washington, did we? She's this old.
she wasn't in yet.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's been in it.
Kinda
was.
did.
She was the 1980s version of
She
Medea.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
She's the mom that.
We glossed
We
over a
were
couple of retirement home
discussing.
scenes.
Yeah, basically, she went to the retirement home because her house had burnt down in the earthquake, and she was getting sassy with the nurse home, people.
As
She-
one
they,
does.
They handed her a deck of cards, said their son brought them, and then, she was like, no, they're like, no gambling here. And then next scene cuts to her gambling with the older white ladies,
Smoking a black
Yeah.
and mild.
smoking a black and mild. She had a black and mild in her mouth pretty much the whole movie.
And she said, I'm going to put some life in you bitches.
Yeah,
Yep.
while they're playing cards, she's gonna put some life in those bitches at the nursing home.
Worst actress ever.
Yeah.
The
she
next
was bad.
retirement home scene, they mention there's 2 nurses talking. They mention that she's not happy with the view out of her window, and so all of a sudden you hear a gas-powered chainsaw running, like they can hear it outside, and they react to it. They rush to a window. Cuts to a scene of her sitting on a chair with an electric chainsaw, the cord's hanging out of it, and she's just cut this little 4-inch branch off a tree, and then nods like, "Yep, it's all better."
Mama Washington don't need power.
No,
She used it as a saw.
She was
the
making
electric
those noises
chainsaw
with her
sounds like
mouth.
a gas.
No, she's just really good at impressions, and she likes real chainsaws.
Yeah.
So anyway, the surf Nazis kill what you learn is her son
Well, the
after
way that
he stops a mugging.
right, yeah, and then she she basically decide after she finds out she's standing over a bridge. It just happens to be the bridge that this white kid's under, and he's talking about how they killed some black kid because they're surf Nazis and they're badasses. She runs down and she,
This is after she's gone to the church and prayed to Jesus to tell her who killed her son.
right. That was how she knew where to be. Jesus told her. So yeah,
I don't know if I've already mentioned this. She reads all of her lines, and that's it. Have I said that already? She's awful.
yeah. We
I
got
hope-
that.
Pre Tyler Perry, dude.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Anyways, so after she finds out that it was the Nazis,
Bless you.
she goes to this Jewish or
Pawn
this
shop. She's
Jewish
at a pawn shop.
shop owner that the Nazis also frequent. She tells him she wants a gun. She gets a gun, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I can get anything else you won't need to." She gets a grenade.
You are glossing over one of the most amazing quotes of the movie, which she delivers horribly.
Go for it.
Does anyone have it in front of them?
I've got it. Stand by.
All right.
We skipped a few scenes here, but it's cool.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
fine.
they're
Oh,
worth mentioning,
No one will
are they?
miss it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
What about the
Especially not
We can
me.
skip it.
guy's already dead, but you look like a white guy I used to know, except you fell down a chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
what they
he
say to
told the
the guy before they kill him.
That was pretty great.
So Mrs. Washington, Mama Washington, if you will, is in the store, and the guy offers her a little 38 special kind of thing. And
Ruger.
Yeah, okay, I can't remember what it was. Little 3-inch, pocket pistol,
Oh, no,
whatever.
that was just the.
Yeah.
The
He
little
called
thing.
it a lady's gun.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what it was. Little 380 or something.
Yeah.
Mama Washington says, a lady's gun? I'm more interested in something that will take the head off a honky at 20 paces.
Yep, that was one of the best lines in this entire movie.
Because it was so awful.
Then she takes the gun with no ammo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he offered her ammo. He
yeah.
told her to throw in a free box of ammo, but that was the 38 Ruger that he sold her. Then he threw in a grenade too, apparently for her $129.99.
It's actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Well, it was the 80s.
That's true. Money wasn't worth as much.
No, it was worth more.
So
Oh, yeah, you're right.
we also
Inflation.
find out that Adolf / Ricky Johnson was an economy major
Yes. Yes.
in his dealings with this with the apparently the only Jewish store owner in Los Angeles anymore, because they both went to the same place.
Yeah, that's the most unbelievable part of this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, you're in L.A., there are more Jews around. Come on.
The weird thing is,
Yeah.
why did they go to the Jew to pawn their Nazi wares? That seems counterproductive.
Well, they weren't being nice
To
to him.
establish
They weren't
dominance.
being mean to him though either.
They were
really.
being
Stole
a little
$100
mean.
chain and only gave him $1.
That
Yeah.
was it though. That was like the worst thing they did to him. If they were real Nazis, they would have made him go hide in an attic.
They were surf Nazis.
honest.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm just saying. Anyways, so after that, Mama Washington finds the Nazis. She finds their surfboards while they're at a bonfire, and she sets their surfboards on fire, which they think is one of the rival gangs on the beach trying to, start a turf war, I guess you could say. And once they do that, that's basically when the war breaks out.
The Nazi wave goes berserk.
Exactly. What happens after that?
they fight.
Well, that's when the very first thing that happens after that is Mengele sees that hippie surfer walking across the beach.
Jesus.
Yeah, they call him Jesus.
Yeah, and he basically tells him that
He pulls a Rick Grimes on him.
yeah, he's not.
But you guys don't watch Walking Dead, so none of you would know
No,
what that's
not
about.
not a fan. But he basically.
Carl dead yet?
Oh God.
Carl's
Carl
never gonna
Papa.
die.
I wish
Carl.
I'm waiting for Carl to die.
Anyways, so he grabs this Jesus dude by the neck and bites his neck, and starts sucking his blood. I don't really know what happened. The next thing you see his mouth full of blood. It's a really awkward scene. And then after they do that,
Well, then Hook kills his two buddies.
yeah, Hook kills his two buddies, and
With
then they
the
move.
hook.
Then they move on to the what is it?
There's another gang meeting after that with everyone except the Nazis, because they're realizing the Nazis are taking too much power.
Right. So they decide they have a gang meeting on their own, decide that they're going to take out the Nazis, which somebody informs the Nazis that this is going to happen. So the Nazis are ready for them, and basically they spring a trap on the samurais. Wasn't it the samurais?
Yeah, samurais
Yeah.
are first.
Samurais come up and try to get them, and they
Actually, it was the samurais attacking them, but
That's what I
Smeg wrote Adolf a note and told Adolf the trouble was coming, so they were prepared.
well, Adolf never got the note though. Somebody else told.
Somebody had to inform. Maybe
So
it was Mama Washington.
Adolf gave somebody else the info or something like that.
Oh, no. Mengele went and asked the skate rats. Mengele went and asked the skate rats what they'd heard. Apparently, they're the ears of the beach.
She paid him off too for information, didn't she?
Mengele is the dude, the
Oh.
Nazi dude.
Uh,
Mengele
what-
finds out from the skate rats that all the other gangs are gonna take him out, and so they're prepared for it.
Nah.
Either way, after they end up killing the samurais during that trap that was sprung, they move on to kill the designers. The designers.
Designer wave.
Yeah, they were doing cartwheels.
Does a cartwheel in and kicks the knife out of his hand. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Adolf gets stabbed, I believe, in this fight.
His back gets cut or something.
Yeah, something like that. Something retarded.
By the way, we didn't mention how Adolf looks. He's always wearing a sleeveless shirt, and he has a
Sometimes a swastika cape.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he is the most flamboyantly dressed man I think
Well,
I've ever seen.
That's the thing
That's what
too.
Hitler was too.
They actually make note, like a couple of different times they ask him where her gay boyfriend is, and like, oh, is he out with another dude? They make reference to that a couple times in the movie, so I don't know if that was something that they were trying to say.
Maybe Eva was a cover-up.
Yeah,
a beard.
yeah, it's highly possible, but
She was the brawn. Boom.
oh, I get it. Anyways, so after that, what happens?
Asians attack, they die. Amygdala, yeah.
Yeah, as you can see from the way that we're reviewing this was not. a
It's
movie
kind of
worth
hard to
watching.
follow.
The plot was
Yeah.
awful.
So basically, the pipeliner gang was supposed to be there with the samurais and the designer wave and help them out, but they never showed. They were like watching with binoculars from
Right.
afar, and so the pipeliners set up this sneak attack at Nazis' home turf.
Yeah.
With the acid?
Yeah, they throw acid in the creepy harpoon guy's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Adolf comes and kills creepy harpoon guy because he's no longer useful.
And then he harpoons the other guy, right? Or did he harpoon the harpoon guy?
He harpooned the harpoon guy.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. So harpoon guy's gone. So now they're down to what, like 4 people. Smeg's mommy won't let him come play anymore.
No, Smeg's
So-
grounded.
Smeg's out of the deal. So you got Adolf, Ava, Hook, and Mengele. So the next scene is the grenade scene.
Oh yeah, they're laying in their
Yeah, they're all asleep,
bunker.
chilling out. All of a sudden, you see Hook's head on, like laying on a sleeping bag kind of thing, and you see this grenade for about 30 seconds rolling across the floor.
It's a
Winds up-
long
yeah,
time.
It's a long fuse on that particular
It
grenade.
stops right in front of Hook's head.
It stops by Hook's head. The next scene, you see it blows up, obviously, and you see Mengele walking around holding his neck. You don't ever see Hook again. Hook's dead, I guess. You're supposed to assume Hook's gone,
Right.
but somehow Mengele gets killed too by the grenade. He's walking around with blood squirting out of his neck, so he's done.
I wish he would have put the hook on. That would have made me happy.
Mengele would put the hook on.
No, Mama Washington.
Oh yeah, she should have lost her hand at some point.
That
That would have been good.
awesome.
Yeah.
There were a lot of there was a lot of potential to this movie.
By the way, at some point, Hook changed his hook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mengele made him a new one.
Yeah.
In one of
Why?
those burnout hangar scenes that
Yeah.
there's like 3 of, and you never figure out
I didn't get the point.
why. Apparently, that's like Mengele's workshop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
They just found this cool burnout hangar and wanted to put it in the movie.
There's
So,
a lot of why in this movie
Yeah.
with no explanation. This was
Yes,
just
agreed.
a bad
In
bad
rubber,
movie.
it was why not.
Yeah, exactly.
so after Hook and Mengele are dead, you're down to Adolf and Ava.
Right.
They jump on the motorcycle.
Wait, how did Mengele die?
Mengele apparently shrapnel from the grenade or something hit him in the neck. He
Oh,
died.
he died then?
He was walking around with blood spraying out of his neck.
Okay, I didn't remember him dying then. But
And so Adolf and Ava are standing there. There's nothing to do. He dies.
right.
Yep. So actually, Adolf and Ava jump in the van, take off in the van. Mama Washington finds a motorcycle, chases him in the motorcycle.
Right.
That bitch
This was
happy
a
on
woman
that motorcycle.
who earlier in the week was in a nursing home.
Only because her house burned down though.
Still.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I just screwed it up. Mama Washington gets on the motorcycle and runs. Then Adolf and Ava chase her in the van.
Right.
They show up at the retirement home because apparently Mama Washington went to start the fight without her gun,
Right.
so she had to go home and get the gun.
But she brought the grenade.
She brought the grenade, just not the gun.
She wasn't
Yeah.
planning
I
on.
feel like it's a lack of
Yeah.
preparation.
She just got to the first checkbox and was like, "Guess I got everything."
So you get Mama Washington arriving at the place on the motorcycle. Ava and Adolf get there in the van, and then they switch. Yeah, Mama Washington takes a shot at him with a gun. And then the 2 of them get on the bike and take off. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I'm so turned around.
This movie was
Anyway,
so
they
bad.
switch vehicles and end up in a junkyard.
Yeah, and then after that, they basically move into this boat scene, where I don't remember how they got on the boats.
It's your lucky day, sucker.
Yeah,
She stole the directors who made a cameo.
the director was a
boat.
cameo. He was a fisherman, and then she goes and gets his boat.
Chase down some Nazis.
Decapitates
Yeah.
Ava.
Ava was in the. Why was Ava in the water? Oh, they swam off on their surfboard.
Oh yeah, they both got on their surfboards and started pedaling out into the ocean. Then all of a sudden they're in this
That's
little
how they
channel.
were gonna get away.
Right.
Makes
They're-
perfect sense.
They're in this little channel where there's no more waves.
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
runs Ava over and decapitates her, and then I guess she thought something had happened to Adolf.
Adolf throws a knife while the boat's passing by.
Right.
Throws a knife and somehow hits the driver of the boat in the back.
Right. So then Mama Washington started driving,
Yeah.
and
She
after that-
shoots Adolf.
Yeah.
Adolf falls off his board. And all of
Right.
a sudden the waves are back and they throw Adolf off his board.
Then Adolf climbs onto the boat while Mama Washington's back is turned. She grabs him in a chokehold, and she says some pretty awesome stuff. What was it she said?
How about you taste some of Mama's home cooking?
And then she
Yep.
blew his brains out.
The gun in his mouth. Taste some of Mama's home cooking, Adolf.
Yeah. And this is all the while she's got a blackened mile in her mouth as well. Yeah.
Blood sprays everywhere. And then somehow Mama's back on the motorcycle riding off into the sunset.
Right enough, Easy Rider style.
The end.
That was the end of the movie. So, what'd you guys think of the movie?
I'd rate it a 9.
A
I
9.
don't understand
Lol.
that.
I only
Wow.
fell asleep like 4 times watching it.
I'm gonna be honest. I turned it off.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
It was so bad.
It wasn't good.
It was the worst acting I've ever seen in a movie.
Right. Well, that's kind of what we're here for.
No.
Bad
No.
movies.
I'm here for funny bad movies. This was freaking awful. If I didn't watch, I watched this by myself. If I had watched this with a group, it would have been a lot more fun, and I would have probably watched the whole
Right.
thing because it was so bad. But instead, I was by myself. There was no one to make jokes to, and about halfway through, I was just like, "Holy crap! I can't keep going here."
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah.
I agree with you. So, you're saying it's going to get a 1 from you.
No, because with a group, this movie could be fun.
Right.
But this was easily the lowest quality movie we've done so far.
Oh, well, it's an 80s movie. It's the oldest movie we've done so far.
It's true, but it was really bad.
Yeah.
The acting was really bad.
Yeah.
The only redeeming quality in this movie is how awful some of the stuff was.
I would say the most annoying part for me was the bad audio.
Yeah, the audio
I
was
had to
horrible.
rewind. I mean, parts of the movie I had to rewind like 10 times to figure out what somebody was saying. The main bad guy, Adolf, it was rare to understand what he was saying for me for the first time through.
Yeah.
You could never hear him.
Oh, and the dialogue was really awful. It was delivered poorly.
These actors, though, they were great.
None of them have done anything.
No.
No, yeah.
And hopefully none of them.
I actually looked them all up on IMDb. One guy is like a producer now. The rest of them have had like extras.
And
like
his name is Ron Howard.
yeah, no, no, wrong movie.
Oh.
He played Mama Washington.
I want to read you guys some 5-star reviews of this movie on Amazon.
All right, go for it.
All right.
A beautiful film.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I must say, this is one of my all-time favorite films. It's beautifully filmed and choreographed, with interesting characters. It also features one of the best film scores of all time. I will agree with that. It was a great
It's not the best film
soundtrack.
score of all
No,
time.
but it was that typical 80s awesome soundtrack.
Uh,
Back to the review. However, it's probably not what people expect given the title and cover art. This is more of an artistic work in independent film territory than the regular sorts of pulp films put out by Troma. It doesn't really fit in well with the rest of their catalog, and while The Toxic Avenger is slightly amusing, I'm not much a fan of Troma's other work, so perhaps that is saying something. This is also not a film for the ADD generation. It has a leisurely pace and isn't non-stop explosions, which is why I imagine so many people here find it boring. They'd probably find Conspiracy, another Nazi-related film with Kenneth Branagh, boring as well, even though that is an excellent film. If you can't be pulled into the mood of this film and be compelled by the beauty in it, then I don't think you're going to enjoy this one. It would also help if you're a fan of the 80s time period. By the way, I do like watching horrible movies for comedic value, so I can definitely appreciate that sensibility, but I don't put this film in that category. I feel like the words
Ooh.
beautifully filmed and choreographed don't fit this movie at all.
I want to find that person.
Was
and
the
punch him in balls.
username Hitler Youth?
it
Okay, I was just making sure.
was one of the actors. One of the actors in the movie. Yeah.
Artistically done.
One more.
Yes, yes.
The only thing mildly autistic about this movie was the
Oh,
shots fired. The
Shots
the surfing
Yeah,
that was every
I did not see that coming.
every couple of minutes.
Boom.
One of my biggest disappointments with the film was, well, there were lots of them, but the trailer on YouTube was pretty exciting. You saw Mama Washington like kicking butt
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole trailer. But turns out every line and every scene that she was in the trailer.
Yep.
So I went into expecting Mama Washington to be kicking butt, and she really doesn't do a whole lot.
I was
She
expecting
finishes
Imogen.
off the last four members of the Nazis.
She acts poorly.
She does.
There's
She
a
does.
lot of that. A lot of poor
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah, I would totally give this like a 1 or 2.
Give it. Go ahead. What's the last 5-star review?
Oh, there's a few of them, bro.
There's several.
few?
Actually, the only reviews are 5-star, or did you sort by 5-star?
Yeah. This one is. And the surf Nazis are on the run. What did the surf Nazis do? Assume that Mama wouldn't miss her son. This movie is a balance of sex, violence, and surfing, along with a speedboat scene when Mama catches up with Adolf and his girlfriend, who just knocked 2 surfers over the head to make a getaway with their surfboards. Did the surf Nazis do this to you? Mama asks. Which way did they go? She cuts his girlfriend's head right off with the outboard for you and me. Then it bobs along the waves in the beautiful briny sea. Let that be a lesson not to steal Mama's motorcycle. Who's Mama? Just a sweet little lady who resides in a nursing home where the nursing staff sedates their residents to keep them happy and serene. Don't let me forget to mention the sunrise scene in the middle of nowhere and an out of context with a mystical harp accompaniment. So tranquil.
Every nursing home sedates there.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
That's why I want to go to a nursing home.
Mm-hmm. Live out the rest of your life in
Yeah.
serenity.
Why not?
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
All in all, pretty terrible movie.
yeah. So, what movies are coming out this week?
You would have to pay me to watch it again. I would rather watch.
I would watch it again with a group so that I could make commentary the whole time.
Yeah. But I would rather watch Vampire Academy twice than see this once.
No.
Hmm.
I would rather watch this.
Only thing I think to make this movie a little better was if instead of showing those other 2 nasty bitches' titties, if they showed the girl in the pink bikini, they showed her titties. Just saying.
Titty.
Keeping it classy, Todd. Keeping it classy.
So,
Dynamite interjection, by the way.
You're
He's
welcome.
quiet for 10 minutes and he's like,
I wanna
bitches
see
and
some
titties. Oh, that's great.
There were 2
Does
pairs.
anyone disagree with this point, though?
No,
It's like listening
no.
to
There
Juicy
was
J
there
over
was
here.
one very attractive woman.
I mean, she's probably nasty now, but
Well, yeah, she's
back in the day,
she's 20 years
27
older.
years ago. Yeah.
Oh, it is 20. Oh, I'm
27.
so old.
Age is just a number.
It's an important number.
So she was
I bet those titties are saggy now, though.
They could be.
I'd still look at them.
25 then. She's what, 52?
Mm.
Mm.
Getting into her golden years.
So, there's looks like there's 3 movies coming out this week. The first one is Nightcrawler. That's that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I wish it was
Yeah.
the real Nightcrawler.
I thought the same thing.
No,
Dave.
I wish
saw,
it was the Nightcrawler's game with Danny DeVito and Charlie Day.
I saw some previews for this.
Yeah,
It looked
looks good.
decent.
I don't like Jake Gyllenhaal, but I want to see this movie.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but
Yeah.
it
He
it
kind of
looked
looks
good.
creepy.
Yeah, it's basically he
Yeah, he does look
kind of
creepy in this.
stumbles onto this accident and I guess decides to film it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he like sells the footage, and then he realizes he can do that, and then apparently he gets there before they're
He starts
happening.
getting like
Yeah.
involved in some of these events as they're happening.
Yeah,
Like, it's I don't know. It doesn't really. It looked interesting.
yeah,
He's got to have some sort of. It's going to be some sort of like premonition kind of thing that lets him know that these events are going to happen. That's what I'm guessing.
Mm.
If he ends up there before they actually occur.
He ends up there before the cops,
Right.
From what I understand. And
Yeah.
there's something with him, like I'm guessing, messing with evidence and
right.
causing the events to play out a certain way. You know, he gets to a wreck before EMS does, and
Did
maybe
you say erect or erect?
a wreck. He gets to a wreck.
I don't know. It sounded like you said erect. I just heard
Erect?
erect, and my ears perked up.
No. Okay, continue.
Your ears?
They
Yeah.
perked up. Yeah.
Something did.
My ears got erect.
Chad just went from 6 to midnight.
The next movie is Before I Go to Sleep, Nicole Kidman and Colin Firth. I'm not a fan.
That Didn't
not a
look good.
Nicole, no, I'm not a Nicole Kidman fan. Yeah, basically about this woman who can't maintain new memories for more than a day. Yeah.
I thought this
They
was the
should've called
movie
it-
where he was tortured.
That was with
no.
Ellen DeGeneres Finding
But
Nemo,
that's still
right?
Colin Firth.
Well, that may be a Colin Firth movie, but I don't believe that that's this Colin Firth movie. Yeah. So that one, that's kind of meh. I'm not a Nicole Kidman fan.
40 First Dates.
And Harry
and-
Potter's in the movie.
Yep.
What?
Horns.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen this.
Yeah. Basically, it's about a young man who's the suspect in a like dark, violent murder, and then his girlfriend wakes up from a night of heavy drinking to see that there's horns sprouting from his head. Yeah. And
That sounds stupid.
no, I
He
mean,
soon realizes their power, the horn's
Yeah.
power, drives people to confess their sins and give in to their most selfish and unspeakable impulses.
right. So yeah, it might be okay.
Yeah.
You never know.
I'm gonna say it sounds stupid.
He's probably showing off his penis. He does that a lot since he's not in Harry Potter anymore.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
He's an
Probably.
interesting, interesting fellow.
Yeah.
You know what I'll say is he's really ugly. Just as a person, he's just
Isn't he British?
yeah. Didn't happen to Emma Watson.
Did Surf Nazis Must Die go to theaters?
Hope not.
I can't imagine that a theater would agree to show that.
It probably did.
Let me look real quick.
Meh.
I feel like, especially on the West Coast, the surf culture is a lot bigger than it is now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30 years ago, so
It got a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
that's way too high.
a 32 user rating.
Yeah.
Way too high.
Yeah. I don't see any stats though as far as
How much it made?
I don't know. But
I was trying to think of redeeming qualities for this movie.
It was short.
It was 80 minutes. I mean, it wasn't extremely short.
it wasn't extremely long though either. Luckily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty short.
Yeah, I can't come up with anything.
Yeah, it would have been fun to watch around people that you can make a bunch of jokes with.
I didn't hate that music.
The music
I
wasn't
Told you,
awful.
the music was good, especially for an 80s movie.
That's
It was
about
very
it.
similar to Big Trouble in Little China, which is one of the greatest movies of all time.
The audio quality kind of ruined the music, though.
Well,
You could look it up on Spotify.
yeah, that's true. You could do that. But so any hypotheticals this week?
I don't got one. Anybody? You got one?
Yeah, I've got a few.
All right, toss them out.
Would you rather have your dad walk in on you having sex with your dog, or have your dog walk in on you having sex with your dad?
Well, Droopy's not telling anybody. That's
Would you rather have a constant stream of diarrhea or have penises for fingers?
Dick
Dinorina.
fingers.
Yeah.
What was that movie? That porno? Edward Penis Hands.
Oh, that reminded me. I was bored at work, so I was like, I'm gonna look up some funny porn title names, and some of these I laughed so hard at, it was ridiculous. Throbbing Hood, Prince of Beeves. That's a really good one.
It was a great flick.
Lord of the G Strings was one of my favorites.
But that's a
and it was
kind of a normal one. But
it was starring Dildo Saggins.
God.
Sorest Rump.
Shaving
Nice.
Ryan's
Making fun of
privates.
Forrest
Yeah.
Gump.
This is
what was
ass
the-
fire.
Ugh, that sounds uncomfortable.
this one made me laugh. Diddler on the roof.
Oh.
Sorry, Daddy. White Zilla.
Diddle
broke my
her
little
on the
pussy.
roof.
Wait, what was that?
You never heard that before? That's my favorite one I've ever heard. Sorry, Daddy. White Zilla broke my little pussy.
That
Ew.
sounds.
I think I've actually heard of that. Maybe because of you.
What was the
Oh,
one?
it's definitely because of me.
When we were down in the Keys, Clam Cram.
Oh,
Oh,
we stayed up till like 3 in the morning looking
Yeah.
at those names.
It was
You posted on Instagram and
Yeah.
your Facebook.
it was Black on White Clam Cram 6 or something like that. Dr. Screw Little.
Oh my gosh. Would you rather stick a toothpick between your toe and toenail and kick a wall as hard as you could,
Oh.
or bite a nail file with your front teeth and yank it out?
Oh God. Toothpick.
Yeah,
Toothpick all the
I'd
way.
Probably have
Nail
to do that one.
file.
I'm thinking nail file too.
Nail file.
I
Yeah.
couldn't do that. Nope.
I could.
Nope.
Would you rather get a paper cut on the tip of your dick,
No,
get a
no,
pa-
no, 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 no.
Or-
no, we're not. No.
or get a paper cut everywhere else, but then slide into a vat of rubbing alcohol?
Everywhere.
That like include your asshole too.
Yeah.
Hey,
What about this parody?
How'd
Death,
you
Death Pikuchi.
How would you paper cut an asshole?
You take a piece of paper and you ram it down your asshole crack. How? I mean, you got to spread a little bit, but you're gonna get it.
Keeping things classy. One of my favorite
Something
games to
Todd
play.
has never been
Dang
accused
right.
of.
No. One of my favorite games to play anytime I go into an adult-themed store, you get a couple people together, and you go look at the DVDs, and whoever comes back with the nastiest, most disturbing one wins. The last time I went, it was the winner was something about giant vaginas. I don't even remember what it was. It was just like, the giant vaginas 5 or something. It was great.
No, I think I saw Grandma and Me 5.
Oh,
I think that was one of the
no.
ones I've seen in a store before.
That's absolutely disgusting.
Well, if that grandma is
Black
Jane
on white
Seymour.
clam 9.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yep.
I think this is a good one.
Why?
Would you rather watch your parents have sex every day for a year or join in once to make it stop?
Would I have to watch in person, or could I?
Yeah, no,
I'm
you're
not-
in the room. There's a chair in the room. You're sitting there, and you have to watch. That's a daily thing that you do.
I'm not jumping in.
So you would just rather
I'd have to watch it.
I would.
I'm not jumping in.
For if I knew a year was it, then yeah, I'd watch for a year. No
Yeah.
thanks.
365 days of daddy railing mommy.
Not jumping in.
Yeah, I'm not.
Mommy riding daddy.
I'm not taking any part in that.
What
I
about
put
you,
a
Todd?
shotgun in my mouth long before I had to make that decision.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with you.
That's not an option, Dave.
It is. It's always an option.
I would just do a
That's-
shotgun to the dick.
Oh.
Make sure I'm
No.
not involved in that at all.
No.
That
You
escalated
still have to
quickly.
watch.
You're on a
Yeah,
desert,
that would
You
just
still have
make
to
it
watch.
even worse.
you're
At
on a
least do the
desert.
eyes.
You're on a desert island with a beautiful woman or man. Would you rather the top half be a fish or the bottom half be a fish?
I do love me some titties, but
Bottom half
Yeah, I think I would say bottom half
with
too,
the
because
top half of Jonathan Stamos.
you went with
Good
the
old-
man.
Good old Jonathan.
I like that.
I think we
Isn't his
already
name
answered
actually
this one
Jonathan?
before.
I don't think we did. I didn't ask this before. I mean, you've got mouth and titties if you do top half.
well,
Yeah, and that's why I think I'd.
You'd always have
Bottom
to go top
half is
half.
fish.
what if she's
Yeah.
like an A cup?
I
It
don't
doesn't
care.
matter.
She's still got a mouth.
Yeah, and you can't really talk to a fish. Not
Plus-
that you necessarily always
Plus,
wanna
you don't
talk
have
to 'em,
any
but,
little baby mermaids to worry about if the bottom half's fish. It's like, nope,
yeah,
no thanks.
it's a true story.
Would you rather have a vagina on your forehead
Yes,
or have a row of penises down your back like a stegosaurus?
that definitely that all day that.
Totally have a stegosaurus
back dick.
penis back. Yeah.
I would take that now in exchange for nothing.
I feel like we need affiliate links for Balzac.
That would be hilarious.
All right, guys. So that's our podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Reddit,
And our website.
and our website, gooseriot.com. Everything is, twitter.com/gooseriot, facebook.com/gooseriot, reddit.com/r/gooseriot,
YouTube.com/
Instagram too.
Oh, yeah, we got Instagram.
Instagram.com/gooseriot.
Yeah.
Yeah, youtube.com/user/gooseriot. Pretty much anything you can. Check us out on, leave us comments, give us feedback, everything like that. But
What are we watching next week?
next week we are going to be watching another movie that's kind of centered around Nazis. Wasn't planned that way, but it's hard to pass up a good bad movie when you see a trailer for it. The FDR, American Badass. It is on Netflix. Watch it. At least watch the trailer, and I guarantee that you will be hooked.
Yeah, you can't see the trailer and not want to watch that
No,
movie. It
no way.
looks awesome. I'm pumped for this week.
There's no way that it could be worse than what we watched this week.
No. No, I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah, not a chance. Anyways, thanks for listening.
See ya.
Peace.
See ya.